Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Italy, round 15 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. This is the MXGP of Italy. We are at the Enzo and Dino Ferrari racetrack here at Imola for the second successive year, but today could be adding a little bit more history to the whole history around this place, of course. Last year in MX2 we saw a title decided in the form of Jorge Prado. This year we might just be looking at a title decider here in MXGP with Tim Gajser. The Slovenian currently has 187 points over Jeremy Seewer. The Slovenian fans are in their house. They've been making a lot of noise over the whole weekend, and there's a real party atmosphere down there in the garages at HRC in the paddock. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, though. 30 minutes plus 2 laps still to run in this first MXGP race coming up shortly. We are fairly north of the country, about 30 minutes south of Bologna. Temperatures creeping up in the 30s, and this hard-packed clay-based soil is proving quite tricky for the riders. It's deep, it's rutted, it's hard-packed, there's rocks, hard slick faces on the jumps as well. And, well, we'll have to see who gets the first foxhole shot and how the racing unfolds after that. Fans up on the hillside there, but before we go anywhere, though, let's take a look behind the scenes. Yamaha SM Action MC Migliori, we saw their riders in MX2 just a few moments ago.
The main difference between European and MX2 is that you're always on the track, always racing, so it can be good and enjoy it, but also it's one big demand for the body and for physical training. So yeah, that's the main difference, and I enjoy it.
I'm injuring my hand and at the Italian Championship 1 month ago. The recovery is going well. I'm feeling better every day. I start with therapy. I think for me this year is no Motocross of Nation.
In the beginning of the season, my expectation was to be close to the top 10, in the top 10 most of the time. I want to keep going in this way and be ready for next year again better. So Michele and me battled pretty good during the half part of the season. He's always clean on the track, and he starts most of the time in front, so I had to come back and fight hard.
It's special when you battle to be the best on the team, but it's always a good battle. Many times we go on the same track and we compare between my time, his time.
We didn't give any gift, but we fight, and it's always clean, so I enjoy a lot. I'm not the type of guy to hang out and go out, I mean to drink something or everything else, but yeah, we are friends and I appreciate him a lot.
Io arrivo, diciamo, del mondo del motocross da
I've been in the motocross world for many years. I was a European and World Championship rider with Jackie Martins and Joel Smets,
europeo, campionato mondiale,
and a lot of other riders that are now team managers.
Tanti team manager adesso.
Qualche anno fa, ormai 10, ho conosciuto
Emmanuel almost 10 years ago.
Con il quale abbiamo
together for a few years and then decided to create our own team. Starting with the Italian Championship until 2 years ago, we reached second position in the European Championship. Thanks to Simone Fallotti. With that result behind us, we were then brave enough to move into the World Championship last year.
E questo ci ha dato il coraggio e la forza di fare lo sbalzo e ad avvicinarci al campionato mondiale che corriamo dall'anno scorso e da quest'anno.
Diciamo che siamo partiti con
We started the season with good intentions.
Abbiamo due
We have two awesome riders in Michele Chervelin and Maxime Renaud. We finally reached the setup and the power we were looking for on our bike halfway through the season. Sadly, Michele had an injury that stopped him riding now until the end of the season. But at the same time, Maxime is improving and trying to reach that podium that we've all been working for since the beginning of the year. The party atmosphere is starting early over there up on the spectator hill. But before we go anywhere, let's take a quick word with Lisa Leyland. She caught up with Tim Gajser, the man of the moment for Team HRC, but before that, Moto3 rider Lorenzo Baldassari.
Hey guys, we're just on the start of the first MXGP race of the day. Now joining me another special guest, we have Lorenzo Baldassari from Moto2. Lorenzo, firstly as always, let's talk a little bit about your season. I know you're currently 5th in the championship standings, but very close to 3rd, so far so good.
Yes, we started very well this year. I won 3 races and then difficult part of the season in the middle, but now we are coming stronger and ready for the next 8 runs. So we are close from the 3rd position and also not so far from Alex Marquez that is leading the championship.
And of course you're here in Imola for the motocross. Do you ever practice motocross or ride motocross yourself?
I'm excited here today because it's the first time for me watching motocross, usually from television. So it's nice. I saw the 250 now waiting for MXGP, and I think it's completely different from what I practice, because sometimes I go motocross, but I'm not so good.
Lorenzo, if you were going to go to any motocross race, this was the race, because after this race, we could have our MXGP world title. So it's going to be an exciting one.
Interesting one. Let's see what happens. And also, I'm supporting Italian riders, because also Ivo lives close from my house. Okay, yes. My favorite rider is Tony, but today we don't have him, so but we support Italian riders.
But Ivo Monticelli, especially on the Italian tracks, he's really found some good form this year.
Yeah. Well, he was strong yesterday. They told me. I was not here, but they told me he was strong. So we expect a good race from him.
Well, Lorenzo, enjoy your very first motocross race, and great to have you here.
Thank you.
And obviously the man of the moment I have to speak to before this MXGP race is our points leader, Tim Gajser. Tim, you just need 13 points over Siwa. I just want to know, when you woke up this morning, what was going through your mind knowing it's going to be such a big day for you?
Actually, I didn't sleep a lot at all, so definitely big day ahead of us. But definitely, I mean, like, I will try to take this race the same like all the others. You know, I will try to give my best, try to ride smart. You know, I think start's going to be really important, so try to take a good start and then just ride well and smooth, and that's the goal.
Well, enjoy this race, Tim. Okay, good luck to Tim now. I don't think he needs it, but it's time for the MXGP Race 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MXGP. Entrano ora in pista I piloti dell'MXGP ad aprire il gruppo Glen Coldenhoff. Quick puff of the cheeks there after that interview with Lisa Leyland, but here's how the championship looks after 14 rounds coming into round 15. Tim Gajser, of course, the championship leader, 187 clear of Jeremy Siwa, with Paulin 37 points further back. And the 3rd Yamaha in 4 positions, Arnaud Tonus, just 6 behind his teammate. Tony Cairoli, of course, not here. He will lose that 5th place. Jasikonis, Coldenhoff, Fevre, Van Horebeke and Jonass all round out the top 10. No Max Anstey this weekend. Admitted to hospital last night. He's had a pneumothorax, so he's had a leaking lung since his crash in Lommel 2 weekends ago. Didn't think anything of it, thought it was a shoulder blade issue, but more on that in a moment. If you weren't with us yesterday, here's what happened in MXGP qualifying. Charging into turn 1 for the first time this weekend, Tim Gajser, Alessandro Lupino and Romain Fevre. Paulin here alongside Jeremy Siwa, and then around the outside of Alessandro Lupino. Wasn't able to find his way past the Italian though. And over on the left-hand side, the lead Kawasaki rider was number 100, Tommy Searle. Came out 3rd and then was pushed back to 4th and then quickly lost positions on the opening lap or so. Romain Fevre led. Meanwhile, behind them, Max Anstey was picking off riders. That move on Lupino put him into 6th place, and then all of a sudden, Glen Coldenhoff took 2 in 1 turn, his teammate and Gautier Paulin, as he moved into 5th place. Tim Gajser and Romain Fevre traded bars and a little bit of body work, but despite that pass there from Gajser, Fevre bounced back immediately and took over the lead. Lupino went out with the sick Kawasaki. Siwa nudged his way up the inside of Paul's Jonass as he charged his way at that point into 6th. He would eventually finish in 5th place. Seewer then found his way past the 21 of Paulin. That put him into 5th. Gajser up the inside of Fevre through the wave section. That was the decisive move that saw Gajser take over the lead on lap 9 of 14. And despite several attempts, Romain Fevre wasn't able to make the pass stick. And then he started to fall into the clutches of Ivo Monticelli, the lead standing construct KTM. Quickly followed by the 259 on the second of the standing construct KTMs, Glen Coldenhoff. All of a sudden, Fevre was down in 4th place. Coldenhoff made a move on his teammate to move into 2nd with about 3 or 4 laps to go. But it was Tim Gajser who crossed the line to take his 6th qualifying race win of the year for Team HRC. Coldenhoff, Monticelli, Fevre and Seewer were your top 5. Let's take a look at the top 5 then. Ahead of race 1 here, MXGP, the MXGP of Italy and Imola. Tim Gajser, with 9 wins this year, is just 13 points off from clinching his 3rd World Championship. Jeremy Seewer is 2nd, and he heads a trio of Yamaha riders, as you can see, with Paulin and Tonus in close pursuit, but he has 37 points over Paulin and 6 more on Arnaud Tonus. And the Slovenian fans have travelled across the border once more. We saw it earlier in the year in Trentino, and what a memorable day that was for them and for Tim Gajser, going 1-1 in Cairoli's backyard. And here he is, Tim Gajser for Team HRC, starting off on pole position. Glen Coldenhoff for standing construct KTM ahead of his teammate Ivo Monticelli, Romain Fevre, Jeremy Seewer, Gautier Paulin, Max Anstey, but he will not line up today, and Paul's Jonass for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. Monster Energy Kawasaki's Tommy Searle and Jeremy Van Horebeke for Honda SR Motor Blues. Then the rest of the guys you can see on screen. But going back to the Max Anstey story, admitted to hospital last night with a leaky lung. He's had to have a pneumothorax, which basically you pierce the chest cavity, and they put a bit of tubing in there, and eventually the lung gets rid of, or the cavity gets rid of all the air, and eventually it sorts itself out. Not sure on how long that's going to take. I had one a few years back, 25 years ago probably, and it took about a week for my particular incident. Tim Gajser there lines up on pole for the first time. Here's Jeremy Seewer, Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP. Of course, Yamaha had their announcement on Friday that the new factory team would be 3 riders. Jeremy Seewer, Gautier Paulin and Arnaud Tonus. No more Wilvo Yamaha, no more Khmer Yamaha and MX2. Both teams being upgraded to Monster Energy Factory Yamaha, MXGP and MX2 status for 2020. There is Arnaud Tonus. Tonus in qualifying was 11th. There's Romain Fevre. He came home in 4th. He did lead for more than half the race, though. But then all of a sudden lost 3 positions in 3 laps to come home. As the lead Yamaha rider in 4th ahead of Seewer and Paulin. Anstey was 7, Jonass 8, Searle 9, Van Horebeke 10. Here is Gautier Paulin, 3rd in the championship at the moment, but he's got his teammate Arnaud Tonus breathing down his neck, just 6 points behind him. And Aminas Jasikonis there, he is in 6th position, could climb into the top 5 today, should climb into the top 5 today, of course at the expense of Tony Cairoli, who is not lining up here and will not line up for the rest of the season. No Jeffrey Hurlings, of course. He may make an appearance. I would suggest probably. He's just back on a bike, actually, but probably see him in Turkey, because he needs to be on a bike before the Motocross of Nations. Anyway, the Fly Racing 15-second board is up. A big day, a big moment, and a big race for Tim Gajser, the championship leader. MXGP Race 1, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. The MXGP of Italy here in Imola. And we are getting ready to go racing for the first time in MXGP. Oh, somebody tried to go early, but got away with it. Gajser up on the pegs, but gets squeezed. Riders going down, 3-4 guys on the inside. And somebody hanging off the bike and going through the banners over there as well on the exit of turn 1. But it's Paulin or Tonus who leads, and Paulin 2nd. So both the Monster Energy Wilvo Yamahas are there, but 259, Coldenhoff dropping into 3rd. Gajser there in 4th place. And then Jonass in 5th position as they head past pit lane for the first time. Then Siwa is just behind them. Then Searle behind the 189 of Bogas. So both HRC boys are right where they need to be, inside the top 10. But crucially for Tim Gajser, he is right up at the sharp end on this first lap. He'll just need to get through this first lap here and maintain his cool, composed. Oh, look at that, up the inside of Coldenhoff into 3rd place. Making light work of the standing construct KTM rider, but it's Tonus who leads, Paulin 2nd. Gajser is 3rd, Coldenhoff in 4th place, Siwa 5th, Jonass 6th, Searle, Bogas, Febvre, Gautier, Jasikonis, Strybos, Petrov, Tomkok, Alessandro Lupino, Vladimir Tarasov, Van Horbik, Rodriguez, Briljikov and Bersinelli. Simpson in 25th position as Gajser looking to find a way past the number 4 of Arnaud Tonus. Goes to the inside, see how big those braking bumps are, how sticky the ground is. The clay base here really playing havoc with the riders this weekend because they go from sticky ground to hard, slick surfaces, as you can see here on the downside, the other side of that wall jump. Coming into the final corner, this left-hander, and it's Gautier Paulin who leads. Arnaud Tonus in 2nd place. Paulin has yet to lead a lap officially this year, so get him over the line next time around. He'll be on the board for the first time this year. Tim Gajser getting ready to come down the inside here of Tonus. Tonus puts the squeeze on the HRC boy, though. But it's Monster Energy Wilbo Yamaha 1-2 with Paulin and Tonus. Coldenhoff right there in 4th on the standing construct KTM. Is Gajser going to get the drive out of this turn here? He was pretty quick through here yesterday, but Tonus, he makes I was going to say he takes advantage of a mistake there from Paulin, who came in short, but then he too made a mistake and almost lets in Gajser. In fact, Gajser, if he finds his way past the Swiss rider at the top of the hill here, that place will erupt like a volcano. Looks like one anyway. Not able to go through though. But he might do now at the bottom of the hill, but Tonus is going to have to be brave if he closes down the door. Gajser will have the right line coming into this left-hander. And he does, he nudges the Swiss rider aside, they tag and they collide and lose a position each. Tonus, though, it cost him more than that. Didn't need to do that, Gajser. Just got it wrong. Well, didn't need to do it. He saw an opening, he went for it. We'll see that again in a moment. But that's let in. Oh, how close was that between Coldenhoff and Jonass? So Paulin, Coldenhoff now 2nd, Jonass 3rd, Gajser 4th, Siwa 5th, Tonus 6th, Bogas 7th, Febvre in 9th place behind Searle, and Kevin Strybos for JWR Yamaha is in 10th place. Then Jasikonis, Briljikov, Lupino, Gautier, Anthony Rodriguez on the Hutton Metals Yamaha this weekend. Tom Cock for Saarholz KTM, Petrov, North Europe KTM, and then Jeremy Van Horbik, Jordi Tixier on the VHR KTM, Sean Simpson, RFX KTM powered by PAR Homes. Well, we'll take a look at that in a moment between Gajser and Tonus. It was just miscalculated more than anything on Gajser's part. Thought he'd come in, and you see the lines when we watch it again in a moment. Searle and Febvre found their way by Bogas. So Febvre now 8th, Searle 7th, Bogas down to 9th. As Paul's Jonass going after Glen Coldenhoff here as they charge downhill in 3rd and 2nd places respectively. Here's Gajser in 4th place. Right, here's what happened a lap ago on this part of the racetrack between Gajser and Tonus. Gajser came in, he had the commanding line. Then he just got bounced there, and then here he just made a mess of it. 2 wheels touched, both riders stayed up, but untidy in the end, and it cost them needless positions. Two laps complete. Coldenhoff, the fastest rider on track that time around. Fastest lap of the race as well. 1:38.2. But it's Gautier Paulin who continues to lead. Jonass is 3rd. 4th, Tim Gajser. 5th, Siwa on the other side of the jump now, coming towards us. Number 91. Then 6 is Number 4, Arnaud Tonus. Tommy Searle hanging on in there in 7th place for Monster Energy Kawasaki, and Roman Febvre just behind him for Monster Energy Yamaha in 8th place. Challenge for the lead coming, and all of a sudden Gajser up into 3rd. Paulin on the ropes here. Coldenhoff looking to try and find a way through. Just needs to keep a cool, calm head, but Coldenhoff, probably one of the fastest riders on track yesterday in qualifying. Whoa! Off the side of the bike, though, and that's a mistake for him. Gajser looking to capitalise at the bottom of the hill here. And he does nicely, turns tightly at the inside. This time he makes the pass stick. And this time it's on Coldenhoff and moves into 2nd place. Immediately goes after Gautier Paulin, but the Frenchman may just hold out by the time they get to the top of the staircase. Over the wall jump, and Coldenhoff back into 2nd. Really making Gajser work. It's probably the best thing for him, actually, mentally. Involved in a race, hasn't got too much time to think about the championship. Jonass right behind there as well. Paulin goes inside. Coldenhoff might get the outside line, inside combination into this next turn, but Paulin makes sure that Coldenhoff can't come through and attack. Bit of a gap between 2nd and 3rd. But Gajser goes to the outside. Paulin losing the lead there. We've got a new race leader on lap 4. And it's Coldenhoff. Found his way through on the Frenchman. Takes over the lead. And he'll want to just try and check out if he can, but Tim Gajser, Team HRC, sat there in 3rd position. Going to be eating a lot of roost off the back of those bikes ahead of him, but take a look at this, though. So this was Coldenhoff a lap ago. That allowed Gajser to capitalise around the bottom of the hill. And then, just after pit lane, Coldenhoff down the inside. You can't even see him, look, and then he emerges ahead of the Yamaha rider and in the lead. Paulin now 3rd as Gajser goes after Coldenhoff. Jonass back there in 4th, number 41, the lead Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. His teammate Jasikonis is in 11th position. Here's how he did it. Gajser utilising that line very well. Back down the inside, forces Paulin wide and easily into 2nd position. Paulin now under attack from Jonass, who goes from one side of the track to the other, trying to get the maximum out of the racetrack here and what it's offering up in terms of lines and grip and traction. Here's Tonus. New colourway for the Wolvo boys this weekend, you may have noticed. So 4 laps complete. We're on lap 5 now. Coldenhoff leads. Gajser 2nd. Paulin is in 3rd here, number 21. 4th is the 41 there on the Husky, Jonass. 5th is Jeremy Seward, the Monster Energy Yamaha lead rider from that team. And rider down, it's Gajser! Gajser picks himself up and loses positions to Tommy Searle as well. So he'll re-emerge in, what, 7th place? 8th place, maybe? Oh, going to come around on him. Oh, face plant and a handlebar in the ribs. And well, he doesn't go small, does he, Gajser? Well, that'll be a wake-up call. And they can't believe it. Looks like the bike is okay. That left handguard looks like it's in a uncomfortable position, higher than it should be. Look, he needs to just give that a bit of a bang down at the first opportunity if he can. Wasn't doing anything wrong, but just the front got away, the back came around on him, slammed him to the ground, and he's right there, just, well, where is he? 8th place, I think. That's exactly where he needs to be to claim the championship if C were to go on and win the race here. But C were in 4th position at the moment on the Yamaha. Brother Nick Gajser looks on. Was never going to be straightforward, though, was it? Right, Jeremy Seewer closing in on the 41 over on the left-hand side of Paul's Jonass. Seewer not able to get alongside. Oh, he might do here. Seewer not happy that Jonass suddenly closed the door quite aggressively there, coming at the end of the straight, but probably would have done the same if the shoe was on the other foot. Especially on a track like this, it's maybe not the easiest place to pass on. Even despite all the deep chewed-up lines in and around the racetrack, there's always going to be an optimum line. Trouble is, these guys know where it is and where to find it. You have to think outside of the box sometimes, like that. Jeremy Seewer. So Glen Coldenhoff leads, Paulin second, Jonass third, Seewer fourth. Fifth is the number 4 of Tonus. Sixth, Fevre over on the left-hand side coming towards us now, the 461. Just behind them, Tommy Searle in 7th place. Monster Energy Kawasaki, number 100. There he is, best ride he's having for a while. Then Gajser in 8th place, just needs time to settle his nerves down and get himself back in check as the guys hit the line for the end of lap 6. No fast laps coming in at the moment. Best lap was Glen Coldenhoff, 1:37.5 about 3 laps ago. And there is Coldenhoff, leading the way for standing construct KTM. 7th in the championship at the moment. That's a view looking down past pit lane. Kevin Strijbos in there on the JWR Yamaha. He is now in 10th place. Jassiconis has just found a way through. And again, the 41 of Jonass keeping Seewer at bay. The middle rider in shot there, Jonass. He's in 3rd place. Paulin ahead of him, number 21 in second. Jonass in 3rd, Seewer in 4th. Back brake working overtime on Paulin's Yamaha. But Seewer does go through this time. He's still got a lot of work to do. It's quite fast down here, likewise through that turn, but up on the pegs, nicely done for the Swiss rider as Seewer goes past Jonass and into 3rd place. Here's Paulin, currently occupying 2nd place for Monster Energy Wilvo Yamaha. Tonus finds a way past Searle. He's on the move. But here's Gajser, 2:43, Team HRC. He crosses the line in 8th place still. Had that big off a couple of laps ago. Now he's looking like he's settling down again. Searle over to his left. May make a move in the next right-left combination, or maybe by the end of the straight here, Gajser. We'll soon find out. No, it's still there is Searle. Gajser looking to go around the outside, though. He does get the drive this time, and he will find his way past Searle. Searle will probably say, well, look, you know what? You're going for the championship. I'm not. You may as well have it. Probably going to come by me anyway. Jassiconis behind Searle now, though. Jassiconis in 9th place. That's where Gajser crashed a couple of laps ago. Body slammed himself to the ground. Fevre looking menacing. So the 461 looking to find a way past the 41 of Jonass in white. The Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider. Fevre wasn't able to get on the gas exactly where he wanted to, but there was a bobble there from Jonass. But he closed the door. He wasn't afraid to lean on the Frenchman to keep him at bay. So Searle was in 7th. Gajser and Jassiconis have both gone through. Strijbos still there in 10th place. Coldenhoff leading the way, though, at 1:39.4 last time around, lap 8. 1:40.3 for Paulin, Seewer, 41 for Jonass, 40s for Fevre and Tonus. So Coldenhoff now with 7.7 seconds advantage over 2nd place rider Gautier Paulin. Jonass. Looking to go around the outside. Febvre still not able to find a way through. Bobble there from Paulin though, and Siwa won't need a second invite there. So Siwa now up in a second place. Paulin down to third. And then back there in the background, the 41, the 461 and the 4 of Jonass, Febvre and Tonus. Gajser in 7th position. 13.5 minutes plus 2 to go, or thereabouts. Deep ruts. Down that bottom end of the circuit. Gajser almost alongside Tonus. Tonus, though, closes the door on the Honda rider. Ruts onto that jump yesterday were very long and gnarly and just choppy as. Coldenhoff still 7.7 seconds clear at the head of the field. Febvre, though, might have to get those arms out, and he does that. A mistake from Gajser that allows through another rider with Tonus, and maybe Gajser might even capitalise well around the outside of here. He does. He slots himself neatly between Tonus and Jonass. So Gajser, all of a sudden, picks up another position. Gajser now up into 6th place. But for how much longer? Outside line working a treat for Tonus. So Coldenhoff leads, Siwa 2nd, Paulin 3rd, Febvre is 4th, Tonus 5, Gajser 6th. And Jonass 7th. Two Rockstar Energy Husqvarnas side by side as they drop down the hill behind Gajser. Jasikonis goes around the outside of his teammate Jonass. Takes over 7th place. Right, Gajser looking for lines. Back markers getting in the way. Artem Guriev, 5.55, almost tripping up the 27 of Jasikonis. Oh, and a little bit of bar banging going on there. So Febvre pushing his team French teammate aside. No love lost there then. Not sure if that was a hand gesture of an apology there from Romain Febvre, but probably doing his best to limit the damage there in that particular on-track excursion. Definitely gave him a nudge at the top of the hill though, didn't he? Paulin probably wasn't expecting it, but maybe you've got to be firm and fair around this track. Maybe a little bit aggressive occasionally. But watch this. Just pulling his pants up. Romain Febvre, that's all that was. And Febvre goes back through, and Paulin goes back through, and then Febvre responds immediately. So the two French riders tearing strips off of each other as they fight over 3rd. So Coldenhoff leads, Siwa 2nd, Febvre 3rd. Here's Paulin in 4th place. His teammate Tonus right there, number 4 in 5th. Then Gajser in 6th position. 10.5 minutes plus 2 to go. Gajser just looking up, checking out the options in the turn ahead of him. Nice sweeping line around the outside. Closes in, avoids all those braking bumps, and Jasikonis follows him through as well. And he's alongside Tonus here. He might just muscle his way through. Oh, definitely a little bit of metal on metal there between the Yamaha and the Honda rider. They can barely look over there in the Honda garage. Upstairs in pit lane. Has to regroup and go again. Got close. Tonus has decided, okay, maybe find 2nd gear and disappear for a moment. Focus, just another 20 minutes. Probably the longest 20 minutes of Gajser's life here. just needs to keep it on two wheels. Probably what they told him before the start of the race, but out of this turn early on in the race, found himself sending himself down the track unceremoniously. Here's Coldenhoff, standing construct KTM. The only standing construct KTM out on track. Max Anstey in hospital just with a leaky lung. And Ivo Monticelli hasn't even turned a lap, so maybe it was he who went off the track coming out of turn one. Gajser, though, wasting no time, getting back onto the rear wheel of Arnaud Tonus. This time, he cuts out of the corner just a little bit earlier. Didn't work to go wide inside last time around, so opting for something new. "12 laps complete for Glen Coldenhoff." Whoa, back end just getting loose there on the Honda. Great little ground cam there as they come out of that final turn up towards the finish line jump. Oh, and Gajser, well, what do we say about keeping it on two wheels? At least he managed it, but lapse in concentration, maybe caught a rock in the ground. Watch this. Everything nice and perfect. The berm just caved away on him. Stayed up, though. Gajser maintains 6th place. 2 heart-in-the-mouth moments for the championship leader and champion-elect. Both the Yamaha riders slow to get out of that corner there. And Tonus taking full advantage of the fact that his teammate is right there, Gautier Paulin. So one of these two is going to be the lead Monster Energy Wilbo Yamaha. It's currently Paulin at the moment. But Arnaud Tonus. Oh, big crash there from Fevre. Wow. Fevre was away with that one. He was about 3 seconds clear of these guys. He just set his fastest lap of the race. And all of a sudden, Fevre upside down. And I'm not sure he'll rejoin the race, actually. He picked himself up, he walked off, but he will definitely feel second-hand and detuned. Take a look at that again. He is up. He's lost his visor on his helmet, but big off for Romain Fevre. Body language would suggest he may come in. Quick pull of the tail right. Let's look for this again. Watch this. Cross ruts about now. Handlebars. Wow. Violent crash that for Romain Fevre. Didn't even know that it was coming. Maybe had one eye on his teammate. That was an ugly crash. He is still going, though. But for how much longer? Pit lane over here on the right-hand side. Stays out. Good job, Romain. Shakes his head. He had no idea that was coming. That was like hitting an ice patch. Trying to regroup and get himself back into the race in 11th position. So all change again. Coldenhoff leads, Siwa second, Paulin third, Tonus fourth, Gajser now in 5th place. Gajser would have seen Fevre go head over heels down that hill, and that's probably a reminder for him as well. Just to say, keep everything in check. And the title is there for the taking. Even though Jeremy Siwa is in 2nd position, Siwa needs to win the race, and Gajser needs to finish 8th or better to be crowned world champion for a 3rd time. And we're getting closer to that moment now. Jeremy Siwa is 8.2 seconds down on Glen Coldenhoff. Jeremy Siwa still making a pretty good fist of it here. Ideally, he wants to be leading the race, though, just to do the maximum that he can in this particular situation. Good second half of the year, though, for Jeremy Seewer. 4 podiums in the last sort of 7 rounds. But this guy here, Glen Coldenhoff, what a fantastic ride he's having at the moment. Standing construct KTM rider with just 4 minutes plus 2 to go. He was quick yesterday in qualifying, and he's proved today that he is the fastest man on track. Probably the only one that's not worried about the bigger picture here as far as everybody else is concerned. Honda, HRC, Slovenian fans, Tim Gajser, media, and all the rest of it, because of what's at stake there. Just getting on and doing his own thing. And here is Gajser, still there in 5th place. Are we going to see him pick off any more positions here, though? Tonus looking to go back after his teammate, Gautier Paulin. Boards going out, left, right, and centre. Paulin there, 3rd position. Tonus 4. Gajser getting ready to come alongside the number 4, the Swiss rider of Arnaud Tonus, but going to get denied into that tight right-hander. Hard hit there for Tonus, but he's going to swing around the outside here and keep Gajser behind him for another lap at least. Putting on the panic revs at the top of the hill. Tim Gajser trying to spook Arnaud Tonus into making a mistake. Two minutes to go. Paulin doing a great job of hanging on to 3rd here. Coldenhoff already over the line, 16 laps complete. So too Jeremy Seewer. But 3rd place being fought over here. Is Gajser bothered about getting 3rd or 4th to wrap up the championship? Probably not, but the racer in him just says, just go for it anyway. Time ticking away. Feeling like one of the longest races of his career. Tim Gajser, probably about the same length as the one where he won his first title at Glen Helen. Both of his titles actually have been decided in the US. Second one was in Charlotte. In the Premier class, this will be the first time that he claims a world championship on European soil in front of his adoring fans here that have travelled across the border. So it'll be an extra special moment for Tim Gajser. And you can hear them on their feet. They've been chanting him every step of the way. He looks like he's now settling for 5th position here, letting the Yamaha boys get on with it ahead of him. He knows he doesn't need to take any other risks. Now, the title is all but his. And you can see, just fading into the distance there, the 2:43 for Team HRC. Coldenhoff about to hit the line any moment now. He goes through 1:39.3. Jeremy Seewer is 6 seconds down as we head into the final 3 laps of MXGP Race 1. Here, round 15 of the FIA Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Italy, at the circuit of Imola. Coldenhoff leads for standing construct KTM. Jeremy Seewer 2nd, Monster Energy Yamaha 3rd. The 2 Monster Energy Wilvo Yamahas of Gautier Paulin and Arnaud Tonus, and Tim Gajser in 5th. And here is the story of his race so far. Early on in the race, he tried to find his way past Arnaud Tonus. The two touched wheels here. Both riders stayed up, but it cost them both positions as Coldenhoff and Jonass went by. Then he did go down violently. Picked himself right up, though. Looked at the ground as if to say, come on, is that the best you got? But tense moments. Then he managed to stay up on two wheels here. And now he is in 5th place. 7 seconds clear of Arminus Jasikonis, but Jasikonis actually just being passed by his teammate, Paul Jonass. Paulin has broken free from his teammate Arnaud Tonus here, so it looks like he will be the lead rider home for that particular team. There's Seaver at the bottom of the hill in 2nd. Coldenhoff already over the line, 18 laps complete. Here he is, standing construct KTM. And for Glen Coldenhoff, he hasn't won a race since Latvia 2014, when he was Suzuki mounted and was, when he won the GP that day as well, his only Grand Prix victory in MXGP. So it's going to be 5 years in the making, this victory. That's going to be an emotional win if he can just bring it home here. He needs to keep his emotions in check as well. The rider who was the fastest man on the planet at the Motocross of Nations last year at Redbird, who went 1-1, had a horrible off-season with a crash that kept him off the bike until pretty much the first Grand Prix this year. He has plugged away, chipped away. Coldenhoff got his first podium of the year in Belgium 2 weekends ago at Lommel, when he picked up 2 third-place finishes, and here he is on the verge of picking up his first race win in 5 years, more than 5 years. And he's deserved it as well. Qualifying race yesterday, he got himself into 2nd, having started outside the top 10. Maybe that was the warning sign for all of us. If this guy got a good start, he would pretty much work his way to the front. He's got 5 seconds over Jeremy Seaver as he goes into the final lap. Samuele Berlidini there, the Guidinelli Racing Yamaha rider, just outside of the points at his home round. But 1 lap to go for Glen Coldenhoff, and standing construct KTM. Max Anstey, who is not lining up today, picked up a race win for him last time out in Belgium. Coldenhoff about to do the same for him here in the first race in Italy. Jeremy Seaver put up a good fight to try and take the title to at least another race or another round, but the Monster Energy Yamaha rider at the moment in 2nd position. No answer for Glen Coldenhoff, and the guy who is going to be world champion, Tim Gajser, is safe in 5th position. Past the Honda camp one more time, the final time in race 1. Tim Gajser. I wonder if he'll salute his fans as he hits the Monster Energy triple over on the far side of the circuit. He is taking a few deep breaths now, just trying to keep his emotions in check, trying to maintain his focus. And they cannot believe it down here. They're getting ready to welcome home a champion once more. The mountain will erupt as he goes by on this final tour. Celebrates in front of the fans. They have painted the sky yellow here in Italy. And Tim Gajser is on the verge of becoming just the 5th Honda rider in history to wrap up 3 titles for the same Honda manufacturer. After Andre Malherbe, David Thorpe, Eric Gabors, Georges Joubert, what a name to add to that list. But Glen Coldenhoff, victorious in race 1. That is an emotional victory for him as well. His first race win in 5 years in the MXGP category. But Tim Gajser cruises down. He will cross the line in 5th place. And Tim Gajser, HRC, are world champions in 2019. Gajser takes his 2nd MXGP Premiership title, and you can hear him shouting underneath that helmet. The fans up there, well, it was worth the entry fee alone to see that. He will celebrate with his team. Paul Jonass, one of the first riders to congratulate him. Big moment for Tim Gajser, big day for those fans and all of the crew at Team HRC. Emotional scenes here for Gajser. Having a moment to himself, and why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? A difficult year last year, and he has bounced back this year in some style. He'll be back with you in a moment, guys. But the effort, the blood, the sweat, the tears, he's had all of them over the last couple of years. But Honda on top once again in MXGP. And Calvin Verlanderen, his teammate, one of the first to get there. Ah, there's some extensive work there on the cameras. It almost went wrong for him when he threw himself down the track early on in the race, but he's had his moment to himself. And Tim Gajser, we'll try and grab a word with him as soon as we can. I'm sure we may even try and get to speak to Glen Coldenhoff as well, whose victory has been overshadowed by Tim Gajser's third world title. Victorious in 2015 in MX2 for Garibaldi Honda, and 2016 in his premier season in the MXGP class. And he does it again here in 2019 for the same Garibaldi team, this time factory mounted with Team HRC. Hug from his mechanic. Family members, there's his brother in on the act as well. And Roger Shenton getting in on the act as well. Good job, boys. Congratulations, Team Honda. And everybody at HRC. In his first World Championship on European soil here in Italy after claiming the first two in the USA. The Honda crew, they sing that song every time he wins a GP. You may have seen it on social media. But anyway, look, there's Lisa Lalo Leyland. She's trying to get a word in. Hopefully she's not had an elbow in the face this year.
Tim, you kept us all guessing. You really did. That race was crazy to watch, but you did it. You got your third World Championship title. Tell us, how are you feeling right now?
It was crazy. I mean, I was super fast. I didn't have the best start. Then I came to second place already. I tried to win the race, and then I make a mistake on the waves, have a big one, then take me like 3-4 laps to regroup, and then I came back, started passing riders in front of me, and finished, I think, 5th or something like that. I'm super happy. I mean, like, the season has been just amazing. I couldn't wish for a better season, for a better team around me. Everybody did amazing job, and I'm just so, so, so happy.
Congratulations, Tim. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Giacomo Garibaldi, the man who has spearheaded that Honda campaign. For this guy, Tim Gajser, he made the move to Honda, and in 2015 he was MX2 World Champion in MX2, MXGP a year later, and this year he wins again. He went through a process of winning 7 Grand Prix in a row. 9 wins so far this season. He's had his army of adoring fans, and Tim Gajser celebrates world title number 3 here at Imola in Italy.
We have another one.
Roger Harvey gets in there as well. So Roger Harvey, been around a few years, but he wasn't going to miss this one for the world. Anyway, official classification, MXGP Race 1. Glen Coldenhoff wins it for standing construct KTM. Siwa second, Paulin third, Tonus fourth. Gajser, the new world champion, in 5th, ahead of Jonass, Jassiconis and Searle. 9th for Alessandro Lupino, 10th, Roman Fevri did carry on. Strybos was 11, ahead of Tixier, Van Hoorbeek, Bogers, Leok and Brylyakov. Misha Boy DeWaal for the Hutton Metals Yamaha squad, and his teammate just behind him as well. A couple more in there, just went way too fast. Well, the championship looks like this then, and Tim Gajser, of course, confirmed as champion. Jeremy Siwa does a good job of keeping himself in second, just ahead of his teammate Gautier Paulin. But the celebrations will continue down there. Big hug for Giacomo Garibaldi, team owner for HRC. They'll go back, get them sorted out, cleaned up. And you never know, they might even have a tipple between motos. But congratulations all round for everybody down there. But let's take a look at the highlights from MXGP Race 1. What a race it was as well. Highlights coming up next. The gate drops. Gajser thought he made a good jump, but up the inside, Siwa was there, Coldenhoff was there. He ran wide though. Monticelli, possibly one of the guys that went off the track in the background. But it was Tonus who kind of grabbed the lead. Paulin was right there second. Coldenhoff was back there in third place. And then Gajser fourth, Jonass fifth, Siwa sixth, Searle seventh, Bogas was eighth. But moving up into third quickly, Tim Gajser. Then he made this mistake. He and Tonus lost positions as a result of that. Still had work to do. Gajser was pushing on though, found his way up the inside of Jonass. Then, with Coldenhoff closing in, all eyes are on the battle for the front. Coldenhoff moved past Paulin, took over the lead. Gajser then on the charge. But then he had this big, horrible crash, picked himself up, rejoined the race in around 7th place. Febvre was on the charge in the background behind Siwa, who just moved past Jonass. And then Siwa found his way past Paulin as well. Bobble there from Jonass allowed Febvre to go through, as Gajser split Jonass and Tonus with that move. Febvre got his elbows out, ran himself up the inside of Paulin. All of a sudden he was in third until this moment. Handlebar snatched out of his hand. He picked himself up and rejoined the race and came home in 10th position. Jasikonis and Jonass had their battles, but it was Jasikonis who came home 7th and Jonass 6th. Coldenhoff won the race, but 5th for Tim Gajser was enough for him to be world champion for the 3rd time, the 2nd time in the Premier class. The celebrations followed. Tim Gajser had a moment to himself. And that was MXGP Race 1. So take a look at some of the super best moments then, shall we, from MXGP Race 1. That's all we've got time for now. Join us in about an hour's time when we return live from Imola for MXGP and MX2 Race 2. We'll see you then. Bye for now.